shaving fans, shaving cadre fans, diabetic, type 2 diabetic rescued by keto fans, uperCurve honing fans. Today is, what is today? Today is November 30th, last day of November 2022. And I'm going to do a shave. I got a new razor and I was not real happy. It shaved. I was not real happy with it. It does kind of, can kind of fall into that category, even though this guy is a great honer, because I've shaved with the edge that this maker used and thought it was really, really great. This one was not. Okay, this is the Russian Bear. It's a 7/8 made on a German forged blank, and I have it's Ertan Süer, and I have no idea whether he ground this when he was still in France or whether he ground it since he's been in Turkey. I'm not real sure. Anyhow, I rehoned that on the uperCurve. That would be convex hones, and I just wanted to see, do a test on that and see how that came out. The soap of the day, I'm going to be using Sterling brush. It's a Badger brush, flat top. Good brush, inexpensive. Not being a brush aficionado, this could be. I have a couple of Sterling brushes. Really, almost any of my brushes could be the singular brush that I would use all the time. I don't know how many times I've seen the discussions about the desert island gear or whatever, I guess if you had to choose out of what your shave setup is, what limited things would you take? What is the one setup that you would take? And that's always fun and interesting when people go through that. The soap today is Mitchell's Wool Fat. It's an evening shave, so I didn't want to get too much stinky stuff going. But in thinking about uperCurve honing, and that as far as I know, the only person who in the United States talking now, because I think there are a couple of guys that can that have convex hones that would hone somebody else's razors for a fee in other parts of the world. But in the United States, I think the only guy who does it for a fee, even though I know there's a guy who sharpens knives and does hone straight razors that has one of the Jared plates, which, by the way, they're on sale. Get them while they last. They're on clearance. Okay. But the only guy is the guy who was the one who revived this method of honing, and with the changes in his life, I don't know that he's going to continue to take in razors from other people to hone them and send them back. I just don't know that he's going to have time. He's going to continue to run his business. He's going to have to hone razors that he sells and ships out. And he's got a full-time job on top of that. I believe his daughters are teenage now, so 2 teenage girls and a wife. He's got his hands full. So, but I was reading around. I started thinking about that today, and I was reading around, and I came across something from a well-known guy who he wrote, and he was talking about shape stones, flat and grinds and angles and all this kind of stuff. And as it got to stones, uperCurve type stones, stuff that I use, he says, I've honed on stones with all sorts of curves ground into them. I can pretty much guarantee that this guy hadn't honed on stuff like I'm using. I can pretty much guarantee that, okay? And then he says, truthfully, I have not seen. Okay, so he hasn't seen it, so he's not denying it. But truthfully, I have not seen a convex stone that imparted significant changes in the edge width or flexibility. I don't know. I don't know how you'd measure edge width, and flexibility. Okay, you got simple tests that you could do. Okay, I like to use this packing peanut test, and it was interesting. I came in here with this razor today, okay, and there was a hair laying here on the sink, one of my wife's hairs, and it was visibly right there asking for me to do the hanging hair test. And it was amazing to me that with the hanging hair test, and my wife has a somewhat coarse hair, that I would take this and ping, 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 and then all of a sudden in the same area, same hair, same area, I couldn't get it to cut at all. You know, it's like, okay, so so the lack of good evaluation methods in just how sharp a razor is, okay, and I don't know how guys come up with the hanging hair test number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and you know, I just don't know how anybody can really use that as an evaluation other than that some sort of a guess. Okay, anyhow, he goes on, the simplicity of reliable and repeatable flat surface seems to me a no-brainer, and anything else is just a waste of time. Now, I can agree with the first part of this. The reliable and repeatable flat surface seems to be a no-brainer. So you know, you have something, you establish something, it's kind of a no-brainer, but then the little dig comes in. Anything else just seems like a waste of time. Okay, well, I had wasted loads and loads of time using reliable and repeatable flat surfaces, flattening on expensive flattening diamond plates that I bought, and yeah, that was a waste of time for me. Okay, and then he goes on, and this is the further dig. Okay, the exception being this. If I was a razor manufacturer that was constantly losing money on razors that were warped, then I might want to use curved stones to get them home. Okay, so very interesting stuff, and it got me really thinking. So first test on this razor. If I don't know, let's see if it's any good. Okay. Mitchell's drying out just a little bit. That's unusual. Although I've been yakking away. So let's see how this does compared to okay, so that's the Bevel uperCurve edge. Big difference. You know, I always wanted a 7/8 from a German steel, the German blank. I don't know why I never got one, but I'm glad to have this one. So anyhow, I got to thinking about the gent who says, who talks about, you know, well, if I was a razor manufacturer and I was losing money on warp stuff, you know what I kind of wondered, and I think this guy does take, I think he takes razors in and hones for a fee. What I want to know, okay, because I looked at this one, I looked down the edge on this one, and this one's not too bad, but there is some stuff. I wonder why he hasn't invested in a laser light setup to go ahead and take any razor and set it down and look and see how perfect the edge on every razor he hones is. because that's what he should do. If he's gonna sit here and make a statement like this and they're losing money, it's a no-brainer, repeatable flat surface, and go on and go on and go on and go on like that. Okay, when I could just about guarantee that almost any of these tools is going to be somewhat imperfect and have some sort of a move in there. Almost everyone that I have, everyone that I've seen, with the exception of a shavette with a replaceable blade, okay, which is done on a machine, and you know, they have absolutely no move. Okay, and this is a great shaver. It's a great shaver. So why doesn't he have a laser beam and say and send it back and say your razor's no good, it's bent, you should get rid of this stuff, because I have my perfectly flat stones, because it's a no-brainer, repeatable, reliable flat surface. It's a no-brainer. Here, you take your razor back. I'm not going to hone this because it does not meet my specifications for what the razor should be. There have been a number of people who have inquired of whether I would hone razors for a fee. I don't. People who want to feel like they want to pay some money because it is a labor, is something you're doing. Okay, I understand that, because that's how I would be if somebody did something you want to come across with some sort of a reasonable compensation for somebody's time and that kind of stuff. But I do this as a hobby. I do it for fun. Okay, I don't do this for money. I don't hone razors for money. And I'll hone razors for people who are cadre, commercial, for the shaving cadre. The greatest shave forum on the face of the earth. Bill M, that's me there. Max Headroom, he's my avatar. Been that for a long time. Anyhow, members of the cadre in reasonable standing, I'll hone their razors, providing for $20, not $20 to me. They need to make a $20 donation to a charitable cause, and I'll hone their razor. Okay, and you know, that's the way it is right now. That's just for the simple reason that there were people that accused Jared, who came up with, although he originally called it convex hones, and you know, he did sell some stones. I bought some convex stones from him. But anyhow, all they said when when the Hone Master Supremos were in the beatdown mode, okay, all they're saying was he just wants to sell stones, and he just wants to sell plates, and he just wants to do that. Okay, and all the while they had no criticisms for the Hone for Hire, Hone Master Supremos that were delivering the beatdowns. Okay, you know, it's like, where's the consistency if you're gonna pummel somebody for having a conflict of interest, a commercial conflict of interest? So, and since I make these videos, and I talk about this, and I love this, and I teach what I do. I make no secrets about anything that I do, because, you know, in a hobby, a lot of times you want to share. I'm not in a competitive position. I want to share what I enjoy and what I love. and what I find works for me. So that's why I don't take money for honing. Okay. However, I started to think, okay, so there's nobody, and if I ever did get into becoming somebody who took money for honing, it would certainly cause me to bring about a change, unlike, I don't know where his paper got off to. Went down the toilet, maybe where it belongs. You know, I would have to issue some sort of a disclaimer that, listen, this is what I do commercially, okay? But there's no disclaimer in this guy said, you know, I sell shaving stuff, and I do honing, and I sell hones. No disclaimer, and he gets a free pass. Now, as I was saying, if I ever decided to hone for money, okay, the reason that I would do that is because no commercial honer, nobody who's already in that business has shown any interest in even trying this, with the exception of that one guy. And I don't know him. I don't know what success he has or has not had. He might be doing it and just keeping it quiet because imagine here's a guy who's sharpening razors, and these people are thinking that he's sharpening them on flat stones, and he's doing uperCurve honing, and they think it's flat because that's the way you're supposed to hone a laser. Would he jeopardize his business to do so? I don't really know. Be interesting to find out. I don't know. Maybe someday I should make some sort of an attempt to contact the guy just to talk to him. But then again, it's not that important to me. But anyhow, if I ever did get into honing for money, it would be for that reason. It would be because there's nobody who is offering that as a service, and I do happen to think that it is. I think what I get, on my opinion, on me sitting here shaving my face, that what I have is a superior edge. I really think that, okay? Now, I am an advocate that a wet shaver who is a straight razor shaver should learn how to hone his own razors in his method, get to the level that he is satisfied with. I maintain that that's the proper thing to do. If he's happy, I'm happy, and I'm not interested in getting into any discussion whether my gear and my style and my skill is better than his, because it doesn't matter. He should be happy with what he's doing. I'm not gonna give him the beat down the way I got the beat down for doing what I wanted to do with my stuff. Okay, so him meaning whoever that is. Okay, and if you're out there in YouTube land and you're listening to me and you are happy with what you do, that's good. You should be happy with what you do. But if I was in the commercial business of uperCurve honing, okay, I think that this is a premium edge. I think this is a premium product, okay. And if I was offering that as a product, I would probably be the most expensive honer you could ever go to, okay? Because I don't want to do this commercially, okay? But if nobody wants to pick up the style and learn this and work to where they make that as an offering to their customers, who, if they're in that business and you have that customers, and you don't want to do that, okay? And it was forced, well, because of the demand, okay? And I got in that business, I would be the most expensive guy there was. I'd find out who charges the most, and I wouldn't, just like most of them, I wouldn't do the crap razors that come out of China, okay? Because you can spend a lot of time on those, okay? And I wouldn't do those, and I wouldn't do repairs. I'm not going to tighten the pins. I'm not going to remove, do any of the stuff. I'm going to sharpen your razor on the uperCurve, and that would be it. And I'll give it back to you, and it'll shave like nothing you have ever shaved, nothing, like no edge you have ever gotten before. That's what I think, and that's why I would charge the premium price for it. I mean, I wouldn't, there's guys, you can find them on eBay and Etsy and wherever, the going rate to hone a razor is, let's say it's $20, $25, $30, whatever it is. Okay. And there's a lot of guys, and then they tell you how they do it. And here's what I got. And, somebody went out and they bought them a set of, Nano Super Stones, and I had a set of Nano. I still have them, I think, unless Matt's not going to send it back. But you buy Nano Super Stones and you hone and you go through a progression and you go 1, 3, 5, 8, 12, and then, whether you strop on, Croox or iron oxide or whatever, you state, and this is what your progression, and you would get with the stated progressions that you see these people, it's a proven thing, and it's been loads and loads of people do that, and they get satisfactory edges that make them satisfied. So if somebody wants to do it for $20, $25 or whatever, more power to them, okay? And I don't want to compete in their arena. I don't want to say, I'm going to give you, I would not want to say, I don't really want to do this. And if I do, I'll, for the cadre, I'll do the right thing, and I'll get the business thing and all, and that kind of stuff. But I don't hone razors for money, okay? I don't want to, okay? But if I did, okay, I would charge a premium. I don't want to compete with the guy at $20 and $25 and scraping for that kind of stuff. No, I just don't want to do that. That's like the Walmart sales philosophy. Lowest price every day. I'm not interested in the lowest price every day. Okay. I'm not selling your Chevrolet. Okay. That's, I would not be selling your Chevrolet. I would be selling the custom European sedan. Okay. And that's what I would be doing. And that's why I would find out who charges the most money for honing razors, and I would charge more than that. Okay. And maybe then, okay, that would, if I started getting business, draining business from people who do that for a living or as a side job or whatever, and I put a drain on their business, I'm getting a premium for it. I'm not competing with them for lowest price every day Walmart style. I would be competing, okay, look at the money that you can make in this. This people will be willing to pay this. And you would have to be willing to pay it. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it, because I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. I want to sharpen my stuff my way and make me happy. And I want to be able to talk about it and share it with others who may have that same interest. Which, come to think of the shaping plates at half price, you can shape a stone manually with a diamond plate. I have done that, and I've proved you can do that. JPO in Norway, he's done it. He's the first one he's not the first one. There's another guy who made his own shaping plate that did that. So there's ways to do it. But the one thing you cannot easily do freehand is you cannot easily get a bunch of things. And since my final progression, my final stones, and then I go to balsa strops, they're all in the same shape, what kind of sticks with the guy wherever he is down the toilet or whatever about the reliable and repeatability. So you have that. So the ability to make to have a tool to make those shaped pieces of wood could be disappearing. I don't see anybody coming along and making these plates and thinking that you can make money at it. And so I just don't think the market's there. I don't think it's there, for anybody to make a living doing that or make a killing or retire young. Who wants to retire anyhow? That could be something that will disappear in time, and that could be something that I've shaped up a bunch of finishing strops with 10th micron CBN and gave them to people and that kind of stuff because they work. I like them. Okay, and I really think that once you have the honing done on the uperCurve, that you can maintain a long time with just that 10th micron CBN on the long dimension uperCurve balsa strop. And I'm not the first one to use balsa strops. I'm not the first one in razors. I don't know that razors were the first guys to use it. I saw balsa strops in knife sharpening years ago. Many things for in razor sharpening in general. A lot of these things are there's a crossover where something done in knives is an awesome shave. But it does work. It does work, and it is what I like. It is the method that I have found to yield the results that make me the most happy. And one of the things that I always say when the topic of honing or whatever comes up, and shaving in general, because people will beat you up over using this stuff because they say, I can't, or Williams or whatever, they'll beat you up over or what kind of brush you use or whether you use a bowl or and what I always say, the aftershave Bob Progressa. And what I always say, okay, wait a minute. Progresso. How's that? It's not the little guy floating in there. If you put a little guy in there, you'd never find him. Anyhow, in wet shaving, there's only one guy that you need to make happy with whatever style you use, whatever gear you use, whatever, if you're a straight razor shaver, whatever kind of sharpening you do, there's only one guy you need to make happy, and that's the guy that you look at in the mirror. That's the only person you need to make happy. You don't need to make anybody else happy, okay? Although it makes me happy to see other people that are happy and having a good time in this hobby, and not feeling like they got to write some blog, okay, where they managed to be successful at tearing somebody else down for whatever reason, you know. It's like, makes no sense to me. Okay, the aftershave lime, Colonel Ichabod Conch. Okay, what does this stuff smell like? I've been using. This is one of the better limes that I've had. Although, you know, this doesn't have the characteristic lime candy smell that a lot of them do. Although that is something that I don't mind. Okay, a lot of people talk about that, and you got to have the West Indian lime. And I got some West Indian lime stuff out there, some Skin Food and Trumpers and stuff like that. It's good. It's good, and it does smell much more like real lime. And that's not too far off, but it's a much more like a fresh lime smell. And this is certainly more like a fresh lime than the candy type stuff. So that's the shave for the evening. We'll be catching you all later. My doctor's appointment that I was supposed to have on Friday with my primary care guy to get my blood work done and to see if I'm have to get the numbers to document that I have put my type 2 diabetes in remission, in full remission. Okay, and when I say remission, as soon as I start going eating donuts and pepperoni pizzas again, guess what? It all comes back. Okay, and I'm not going to do that. So maybe I'll use the powder can put a little puff, pow, powder. Get on my shirt because it's fun. It does leave a nice, really nice. Learn the use of powder. Although before my wife started cutting my hair, my barber always used to dust my neck with a powder brush. It always felt real good, you know, and makes it like not sticky and all that kind of stuff. So my appointment's been moved off a couple of weeks. I don't know if the doctor needed some time off, vacation or whatever, or needed some personal time or had a personal thing. I don't really know. So, and it's just as well that it was canceled because I also am due for the 10-year. And if you're in the 50 plus range, you'll understand when I say the 10-year butt periscope deal. Okay, so that's coming around for me, and I have to get a pre-op for that. So I'm gonna want to have my my primary care physician do the pre-op, and because I couldn't get that scheduled till 2023. Okay, so if I'd had him do my pre-op Friday, it would be too soon, and I would have to go back to him again to get the pre-op done. So that's off, but I'm still gonna see the cardiologist. He may may want me to do a blood test and do the cholesterol thing and all that kind of stuff. I don't really know. But he'll probably be happy that I dropped a bunch of weight. He'd been after me, just trying to lose 5 pounds, just trying to lose. Well, you know how hard it is to lose 5 pounds if it's not too hard if you cut out sugar, starches, and the petroleum-based vegetable oils that everything is mixed in everything, and everything is cooked in. You cut that stuff out, you drop weight. Anyhow, hope you all have a great rest of the balance of the week. I've been home cooking. I got a couple of pork shoulders out on the smoker. They're almost done. They should be almost done. I'll probably run out of fuel. It'll be time for me to go get them in the oven. Visit us at www.theshavingcadre.com, the greatest shave forum on the face of the earth. And the guys that write that kind of stuff, they don't hang out over there. They might look in a little bit. Hang out over there. So take care. Wish everybody well. Bill.